Hi Prado, this is Grandpa Tandy in Canada. I'm getting my snowmobile all put away for the summer since our snow has melted, and I thought you might like to see what I do to the snowmobile to put it away for the winter, for the summer. So I'm taking a little video for you, and I'll show you what I do. First of all, here's a chance for you to look at the motor. That big silver thing is the exhaust pipe. One of the first things I need to do, Prado, is start it up. I can't ride it because there's no snow, but while the motor's running, I can squirt some oil inside that big hole right here at the front that you're looking at, and that oil will help protect the inside of the motor. When I start it, it'll get pretty noisy and make a lot of smoke, so that's why I have to do it outside. So here we go. Let's see if we can get this thing to start. The exhaust pipe is right near that front there where all the smoke is coming out. That's what's making all the noise.
That smoke is just normal for this machine from the fuel injection. I haven't even got to the fogging oil yet.
There's a lever on the handlebar that I'm going to squeeze, and that makes the motor go faster. You'll hear it rev up and make more noise. Pretty noisy. I should have put on my ear muffs, so I'm going to walk over here by the camera and put them on so that it doesn't hurt my ears.
Hey Prado, always got to use the sound suppressors.
Here Prado, I'm going to give you a close-up look at the motor while it's running so you can see the different parts.
Here Prado, I'll give you a closer look at the motor while it's running. Down in here, that spinning thing is a clutch. I'll show you how it spins when I rev it up.
Okay, that finishes our outside test, Prado, so I'm going to take it into the shop, take the sides off so you can see the motor more, and then we'll go inside the shop and do the rest of the work there.
Here we go. You can see that the clutch mechanism is missing here, but I haven't got that all serviced yet. But what I have done is I've taken off all of the exhaust pipe. The exhaust pipe comes from here and makes a great big circle in here, comes around and then comes out over here. By taking this all off, I also took off a heat shield in this area that protects my fuel rail from the hot exhaust. And I'm getting it all cleaned up and serviced so you can see it's pretty shiny inside. I'll show you some pictures later as we put it back together so you have a better idea of what it looks like. On this side of the snowmobile, this is where the brakes are, so when I need to stop, I can stop the snowmobile, and this is the muffler that keeps it a little bit quieter. But the two side panels, this one here comes down like that on both sides, and then with the hood on it, it looks like a regular snowmobile. But when I'm working on it, I take the hood off and I leave these side panels up. So over here you can see some of the parts I've taken off. This is part of the muffler tailpipe down here. My air intake box is the one on the floor up there, and then you can see I've taken the hood off as well, so give me a little bit easier access to the motor.
Well, Prado, it's been a few hours now and I've done quite a bit of work. It's time to put the exhaust pipe back on the motor, and I'm going to show you how I do that.
Okay, Fredo, here's the exhaust pipe. This is where I cook my lunch. I'll show you how that works a little bit later. We're going to try and get it back on the sled now. So I'll show you how it fits, so I can get it to go on there. It's a little bit awkward, but... There we go. So that's the way the tailpipe fits. So now you can see how it bends around, comes out, and then there's a sensor. This little sensor goes right in there, and that helps feed information to the computer to help the motor run better. So once I get that all buttoned up, we'll see if it'll start. Hey Fredo. Okay, I've got the exhaust back on now, and I think I've got all the electronics hooked up. So what I want to do is quickly start the snowmobile while it's in the shop, just to make sure that everything is back together correctly. And then if it is, I can continue with my work, and if it isn't, then I have to figure out what I did wrong when I put it back together. Okay, so it's going to be kind of noisy, so that's why I've got the ear protection on. So let's see if it'll start up. Here we go. Turn on the key. Okay, we're good. And let's see what happens.
Wow, it's really starting to make a lot of smoke now, Fredo. Boy, it's going to fill my shop up with smoke. I'm going to have to go outside and get some fresh air.
Well, Fredo, it looks like it's running, making a bit of smoke, but everything looks good. See how the motor vibrates when it runs. And my fuel gauge shows me 42 pounds per square inch, which is exactly what I need. Yeah, looking good.
It's time for us now to hook the motor to the track so that when the motor's running, the track will turn. This will make sure that everything is working the way it's supposed to.
Okay, let's see if we can get this to work. First thing I have to do is I have to use this special jack right here to lift the track off the ground so that when it spins, the snowmobile doesn't go anywhere. So I'm going to try and show you this on the video. We'll see if it'll work. Here we go. Okay. Now you can see, Fredo, that the track is off the ground down here. It's not on the ground anymore, so it can spin and the snowmobile won't go anywhere. Okay, let's see if we can get it started up. It's going to be noisy, so I got to put on my my head sound suppressors. See? There we go. Okay.
And now that the motor is running, if I go and squeeze the throttle and make the motor go faster, it'll start to make the track turn, and you'll be able to see the track as it turns. So just keep a lookout. There it goes. Now you can see the track turning, and if I were outside in the snow, that track would push on the snow, which would make the snowmobile go.
Okay, Fredo, that worked pretty good, but now let's have a look at the motor. We can see how the motor works. You watch, this will turn. You watch, I'll give it some gas. There it goes. Now the track is turning. When I rev it up, it makes the track turn. Okay, that should do it.
Okay, the snowmobile's all serviced now. It's been cleaned and it's all ready to be put away. Here's what she looks like.
So there you go. It's all ready to go. It's all been waxed and polished, and the tunnel part here is all shiny, and my mud flaps all clean, and my running boards down here where I put my feet are all clean. Everything's all waxed up, polished. Even my hood is shiny. But you can see right here where my hood's been broken because I had a little accident, but it still works. And if we lift up the hood, you can see how the hood part works. And that's how you lift up the hood so you can get at it. And that's what the motor looks like. You saw us cleaning it along the way. Now it's all done and shiny. And this little thing here is where I put my lunch and I cook it. See, this little part here comes out, and this gets very, very hot when the motor's running. So this behaves like a little cook pot, and it's got a little lid on it. So I put my food inside and I ride, and then by the time I'm hungry, my food is all warm and cooked, and I have a hot lunch when I'm out in the mountains. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, well, we'll close it back up, and that's it.
The last thing I need to do, Prado, before I put it away for the summer is to put a special cover on it that I have. It keeps the dust and the grime off. Has a really interesting design on it too. See if you can figure out what the picture is.
So I thought you might like to see, I don't know if you can tell, but that's a giant tiger. Big cat with his mouth open, and he's got big long fangs here and little fangs in the bottom, and you can kind of see how his eyes are up there. They're green. It's because he's an Arctic cat. That's the name of my snowmobile. And another thing that you might notice is that when it's in my shop, I put the track on this part that has wheels on it so I can move it. And I have some wheels that I can sit up here on top underneath my skis so that I can move the snowmobile around inside the shop because it's too heavy to carry. So now that I've got it all cleaned up and put away, all I've got to do is tuck it over to the side of the shop where I keep it, and we're done. So let's see if we can move it. Oh. There we go. And that's it.
Well, it was sure fun showing you my snowmobile, Prado. I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe one day you'll be over in Canada and we'll be able to ride it together. Until then, I look forward to seeing you the next time we get a chance. Bye for now.